It's hard to deny that there's a connection between Tiki and Elvis. For a lot of people, it's Blue Hawaii. For me, it was seeing the Jungle Room in person at Graceland. That's what we're going to talk about today on Tiki with Ray, the Elvis and Tiki connection. Hi everyone, this is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki with Ray, and today I am at one of my favorite tiki bars in the world. It's Hale Pele in Portland, Oregon. Today I'm joined with my friend Margaret, and we both have a common interest along with Tiki, and that interest is Elvis.
Yes.
So what came first for you, Margaret? Elvis or Tiki?
Definitely Elvis.
How so? What got you into Elvis?
You know, honestly, I can't even remember. I just remember loving him as a kid, and the interesting thing is none of my family was into him. I mean, my mom was a Beatles fan.
Yeah.
My uncle was, Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and all that. I don't even know where it came from, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just kind of evolved. And I mean, I have all these things from when I was a kid, like all these, pictures my family would give me of Elvis, and so I don't even know where it came from. But
What was it about Elvis that you really liked?
Honestly, one of the things that really, and I think this got me into Tiki, was the whole Blue Hawaii, the whole Elvis and Hawaii thing. I was just drawn to it, and I couldn't explain it. Inexplicable.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The main thing I loved about Blue Hawaii is that, not getting technical, but the movie was filmed in Technicolor.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had a thing for like movies that were filmed in Technicolor. I mean, I didn't know that that's what it was.
Right.
But Technicolor is a certain film where the colors are vibrant.
Right.
And I remember seeing Blue Hawaii, and I remember it probably actually made Hawaii look more magical than maybe it even was. But Blue Hawaii is sort of what put Hawaii on the map for me.
Sure.
And I went to Graceland. This is 2001. And I went to the Jungle Room that was in Graceland. And I'll tell you what, out of all the places that were in Graceland, that room was like, oh my God, this place is incredible. This place is incredible. And that's before I even knew what Tiki was.
It's all about Whitco.
It was all about, I didn't even know what Whitco was.
Yeah.
All I knew is like, I don't know what Tiki is. I don't know what this Whitco stuff is. Not that it didn't even have a name, but I just knew it was cool.
Right.
To me, Elvis is the epitome of cool. And I think Tiki is cool.
Yeah. You combine the two, and it's phenomenal.
It's really hard for me to not think about Elvis and think about
Hawaii,
Tiki at the same time.
Tiki, yeah.
So, what do you like better? Have you ever seen Paradise Hawaiian style?
Oh yeah.
How
And
much?
I gotta say, I know it's really cliche, but I like Blue Hawaii a lot better. And I know it's super cliche, and that's everyone's favorite movie, but I think there's a reason for that.
Is it your favorite Elvis movie?
It's my favorite out of the two big Hawaii movies, definitely. Yeah, it's in my top favorites for sure.
What is your favorite Elvis movie?
My favorite Elvis movie, honestly, any Elvis fan out there is gonna laugh, but I really love Change of Habit.
Wow.
I love Change of. I know.
That's an oldie.
I know. Actually, it was his last scripted movie, Change of Habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So it's going to be kind of more of an unpopular favorite, I think. But, of course, Viva Las Vegas as well. I mean, classic. Anne Margaret.
Yeah,
Margaret Anne Margaret. Come on.
Yeah. I've always considered Elvis, he's the king of rock and roll.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I've always considered Elvis to be the king of cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is the reason why he is the king of rock and roll, because he is literally the coolest.
Well, especially those 60s years.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Viva Las Vegas, Anne Margaret, those outfits, the
68
cool,
comeback, he's wearing the black leather jumpsuit.
Swoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And he, what I loved about Elvis was, one of the many things.
Yeah.
Straying away from Tiki here a little bit, but he was, for as elusive as he was, I mean, he stayed awake at night
Yeah.
and slept during the day so he could do things at night without being mobbed by fans. But on the flip side of the coin, he was also very accessible. I mean, if fans came to see him, he would make every effort to sign autographs, take pictures with them, give them hugs and kisses, and all that. So that's what I appreciate about him, is he was still, when he was out to be out among fans, he was still very accessible.
No, he seemed like a genuine guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I've sort of noticed this in like his movies and in his like live concerts. Like, he never took himself that 100% serious.
Right.
No, I think his term of like the king of rock and roll is like well deserved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, what did John Lennon say? Before Elvis, there was nothing. I mean, if Lennon is saying that,
that's probably the most honest term there is.
Yeah, it's like this black void in the rock world before Elvis.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too for me, again, straying from the Tiki aspect, but how he started with blues and gospel, and that kind of brought him into the rock and the soul and the feeling behind the music, and that's what really spawned. He kind of helped morph all of that into what is now known as rock.
Yeah, as you're talking about that, I'm thinking about like actual surf music.
Yeah.
And when you think about Elvis's Hawaii-ish songs, they're not very surf.
No.
In fact, they're not surf at all. But songs like, Rockahula,
Right.
Slice and Sand, some of those tunes,
They're more pop.
they're more
Yeah.
pop, but to me they're just as tiki or Hawaiian as a surf song is.
Right. Because you've got that upbeat, that good feeling.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I think a big part of Elvis that I didn't ever really put together until right now is there's definitely like an Elvis mid-century tiki connection. Because when I think of Elvis, my favorite era of Elvis is the 60s.
Right, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 50s stuff is okay. But, I mean, the movies, I see the movies as like glorified music videos.
Well,
And they're very visual.
they are. And a lot of people, when they think Elvis, they think the jumpsuits, they think the 70s, and they're missing this whole great decade of Elvis.
Yeah.
In the 60s, and all of his style, everything, his whole mid-century style, the Hawaii aspect, they're missing all of that. And yeah, you had the Aloha from Hawaii
Yep.
live event, but while it's from Hawaii, it's still just a stadium, a venue. It's not actually filming of Hawaii or anything tiki or Hawaii, and that occurred during the 60s.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a subconscious thing. When you brought up the broadcast of Elvis playing live from Hawaii,
right.
and it's like, yeah, there's always been a connection with Elvis to tiki,
Right.
whether he knows it or not.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there that are into tiki, that are into Elvis,
Right.
and for all of us, this is like it's like Reese's Pieces or Reese's peanut butter cups. We got chocolate, we got peanut butter, and they go great together.
Yeah.
My first tiki bar that I went to was Hula Hula, and I remember they were playing like Blue Hawaii tunes in there,
Oh, nice.
and they had me.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I think too, Elvis is what kind of got me into tiki in the first place without
how did Elvis get you into tiki?
without realizing it. I mean, Elvis, the whole Elvis in Hawaii thing kind of helped segue me into a fondness for Hawaii. I didn't go there until about 10 years ago. I'd
Okay.
never been there. But I still had this tropical paradise, that whole affinity for a place
Yeah.
I'd never been because of the Elvis movies and all the photos I'd seen of him going there. But it kind of segued me in a really roundabout way into tiki. And I ended up buying some books on tiki, so without really realizing what it was or without having really gotten into it. And I loved the visuals, and I bought it for the visual aspects. And I didn't realize all the history behind it and the imagery and the folklore and the meaning behind things. I was like, oh, these are really cool images. And it was a very roundabout way, but it's by way of Elvis that I got into Tiki for sure. For sure.
I know when I went to Graceland, that was 2001. And I didn't get into Tiki until about 2006, 2007. But it was definitely a seed that was planted in me that just had to blossom when I actually got into Tiki, because I started making these connections.
Yeah. Well, and one of my friends actually, she knew that
she
I was
knew
into
Elvis?
Tiki. No, she knew that I was into Tiki. And one of my friends in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And she said, well, hey, I've been involved in TikiCon in Portland for I don't know how many years. Hey, Sally. She took me to my first TikiCon.
Yeah.
And it was just love. It was just love. And that was, this past TikiCon 2017 was my either 5th or 6th TikiCon. It's just been love ever since.
Has there ever been an Elvis-themed TikiCon?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of.
I think we might be on to something.
Hey, ideas.
Ideas. There you go.
Yep.
Tiki and Elvis at TikiCon. It has to happen. Let's make this thing happen.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Aloha, mahalo, and all that other crap.
Aye.
Well, let's talk about Whitco. Was Whitco ever cheap? Like, it's expensive furniture.
Yeah. No, I don't. Not that I know of. I mean, it's still not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis obviously had money to burn, and that Whitco stuff isn't cheap.
No.
But he. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well, here's to Elvis.
Oh, we're gonna say goodbye again?
No, I'm just doing a shoes. We can use it for whatever. You can piece it into whatever.
And then that's all we're gonna say about Elvis. Aloha, mahalo, and all that other shit.
That's it. No, Elvis. I hate it here. It's terrible. Ray sucks. I don't know. Whitco, the Jungle Room.
We're gonna get together on this. We're gonna have so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about Elvis.
It's like when you're in front of the gun, you're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So why do you like Elvis? Because he's cool. He rocks.
Well, that. But it's almost an undefinable thing, really. I mean, you watch his movies and you listen to his music, you see his style, you hear his voice, it's kind of the whole package, and you can't really touch on it, you can't really explain it. Once you see it and hear it, you just kind of go, oh, and you're just kind of there, you're just kind of a fan. I mean, at least for me.
So how many times have you seen Elvis in your life?
In person?
Yeah.
I was born in 1981.
You're talking like you've seen him. Like, there is nothing like experiencing Elvis live.
It's true. In my dreams, right?
In your dreams.
God.
And with that, mahalo, aloha, and all their shit.
Jesus.